Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. I'm pretty excited to finally get out here in Wisconsin. I'm just on a northern lake here. My schedule has been so hectic. I've done so little fishing back home here, but I finally got out for a little bit. I've actually got the family coming up to meet me in a few hours. We rented a cabin, so I'm excited. So I'm getting to scope the lake out a little bit. We're just gonna fish around here with a small swim bait. The fish, primarily smallmouth in this lake. There is largemouth. I think they're still in a pre-spawn stage. I'd be surprised, I guess, to see some fish getting on beds just because the water temp is still in your 50s. But ultimately, really excited to get out. So we're gonna throw one of my favorite search baits around, just a small swim bait. We've got on the core tackle finesse tush. Let's see if we can catch a few fish before the family gets up here. Oh God. Not a giant. Smallmouth cannot deny a small swim bait. God, he clocked that thing. Come here. Got you. A little 2-pounder on the old finesse tush. One of the things I love about the tush is they hold up so well. They'll prolong the life of your bait. You know, they might slide down, but you just slide it back up. You really can use them until the tail gets pulled off, which is one of the nice things. A lot of people actually just super glue them. That's a good thing to do too if you want to really lock it in there. I don't personally think it's necessary, but it's something you can do if you want. Let's catch another one. God, it feels good to be home. That took like 4 minutes. Right now we're just up on a little rock flat. These will be the places they're spawning here in probably 2 weeks, a week. Well, probably for the next month or so, but just a shallow rock flat. We're sitting here in 5.5 foot of water. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a light patch there because that's sand. There's dark patch here, that's rock. Just, it's a mixture of everything. Classic smallmouth territory. That's a good one. Not a giant, but getting a little bigger. Cracked it. These guys all have red eyes. They might be already moving up a little bit. Come here. Look how red that eye is. God, he's chunky. What a pretty fish. On the tush. And like sometimes it'll split like that, but you can still use that bait. Like watch, I'm gonna keep fishing that bait and show you that still will work just fine. go with the wind, so maybe my sound is a little better. I don't know if you can see it. There's this is just a rock vein I'm going down, and based on the 3 fish we've caught in 7 minutes, my guess is the males have moved up. That's a nice one, big black one. God, that's a black one. It's a nice one. Oh, this is gonna be a fun weekend. That's a nice one. Nice one. Finesse tush, light line, small swim baits. You gotta have the right hook, and that's why we made the finesse tush. Like this thing is a little hammer. If I can get that out, might be done finally with it, but probably a 3.5. All right. Well, we might be a little torn up now. We're gonna swap that out. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to rig up one of these finesse tush, same way you would do a normal tush. So I've got here, this is the 3/16 ounce 2/0 finesse 3.3 Kitech fat impact swim bait. And we're just gonna go right through the nose. I guess the first thing I'm gonna point out though here is I just want to show you the difference. I've had a lot of questions from people who want to know specifically, well, we've got a standard 2/0 3/16 ounce tush, and then we've got the finesse size. So I just want to show you the difference. If I go in my box and I pull out a standard 3/16 ounce tush and compare it to the 3/16 finesse tush, what you'll see is how much smaller, let's see if I can line these up, how much smaller of a hook, there you go, hopefully you can see that, how much smaller of a hook that is. So this is a light wire compared to a standard 2/0 60-degree jig hook. You know, the finesse hook is actually the same hook that was used in the guppy head for a while. Not sure if it still is, but you can just see the difference in the gap. So if you want to fish small swim baits like 2.8, 3.3, 3.8, the standard tush hook works fine, but it's a big hook in it. So personally, I like to throw a finesse tush, and you're just going to thread it up just like you would any other normal, you know, like you're threading on any other normal swim bait. Make sure it's lined up straight right down the middle, and then you just give it a nice little push, and you're just going to slide it up over the weight just like that, straighten her out, and there you go. So we've got there a finesse 2/0 3/16 tush and a 3.3 Kitech. Now, you know, I like to fish these small swim baits on light action, on spinning gear. So in this case, I've got this here rigged up on just a it's an MHX 872 blank, so it's a light medium action rod, 10-pound braid to a 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. So this is a lighter action, just a more of a finesse approach. So if you've got a finesse approach and you're using the standard tush hook, it's hard to drive that hook home with light finesse gear. So the finesse tush works great with your spinning gear for your smaller swim baits, like your 3-3s, stuff like that, where you know you're fishing it on light gear, you just want to be able to set the hook home. So that's why we came out with the finesse tush, to give you that option to fish it on lighter gear. God, they hit it like a ton of bricks. That one's not even that big. God dang. This is one of my absolute favorite ways to fish. I have won so much money doing this, whether it's smallmouth, largemouth, spotted bass. Doesn't really matter. It's such a fun way to fish, and to be honest with you, it's like one of the best things you can do in terms of like getting kids involved, or like beginners. If you're fishing, like, you know, if you go on a guide trip, a small swim bait is an absolute key. And a lot of times when you're fishing small swim baits and you're with beginners, like I'm gonna have a blast getting Hank and Duke out here. Like, they're gonna catch a bunch of these smallmouth, throwing a small swim bait, finesse tush, light spinning gear, because that's what they can handle. You know, versus if I gave them the full-size tush, which is still a great jig head, it just, for them, it's a little bit of an overpowering hook when they're gonna be throwing light spinning tackle. And you gotta have a super sharp laser hook. This is a custom hook we have made for us. This is a VMC hook. You know, if you're familiar with the guppy head jig, that jig, it's the same hook. I don't know if they still use it, but at one point they were using the VMC hook, and it's a 90 degree. We went to VMC and said we want the same light wire, we want a 2/0, and we want it in a 60 degree, and that's what we got. Oh, there he is. Nice one. Real nice one. Big, thick fish. Come here. Nice, fresh, clean fish. I think we're gonna end it on that note, guys. Good pre-spawner right here. Nice, healthy fish. Finesse tush. Catching big smallmouth. Beauty. Well, guys, that's the difference. I get a lot of questions regarding the core tackle finesse tush versus the regular tush. Light line, finesse, small swim baits. Your little finesse tush is the one to go with. Throwing a little heavier line, a little bigger bait caster, you want to go with the regular tush. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all your continued support. I'm gonna get back, check into our house. We got a rainstorm coming apparently. Looks like it's starting to pop over the clouds. So I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Stay tuned. We'll have a new video coming out tomorrow.